Welcome back, guys. We got Zoe today. We got Parker in the background. Come here. Come on over. We need to do some soil samples today. It is October. And we're gonna plan out. Holy moly. That's a big group. We're gonna plan out our soil. See what we need. Oh, we can't sit still long. Okay. So, we have to go out in the garden, take 3 samples, and send it off. See what we're missing in our soil. Alright, let's get started. Alright, welcome to the office.
Welcome to the office.
My lovely assistant.
I love your assistant.
My lovely assistant.
My lovely mom assistant.
So what are we going to do today?
We're going to plant our garden.
What are we going to plant?
Um,
Just today. What are we going to plant?
Eggplant.
Eggplant? You don't even like eggplant.
Strawberry plant.
No.
Potatoes.
Potatoes? So, what? We got to get the lane ready.
Yeah.
So we're going to torch it.
Yep.
And then we're going to build it up.
Yep.
And then
And
plant.
what about the build a chicken coop and a bunny coop?
That's not today. Wait until the people. Too soon.
Okay.
That was a secret.
That is a Geeky Gaga video.
And we got Parker peeking in.
Video. This is a Geeky Gaga video.
No, it's not.
I can't see Parker.
Take 2.
How about the Geeky Gaga video or strawberry means it was a video?
Nobody understood any of that except for strawberries in video.
How about a Geeky Gaga video?
Did you eat sugar today? Did you eat sugar?
Just cantaloupe.
I'm gonna cut all that out because you're being too silly. So, anyways, we're going to. We're. Alright, stop. You're wasting my film.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm done.
Okay. So, we went from, what, 72-degree weather
Yeah.
to. What do you think it is right now? 42? With a nice breeze. So, let's, we've started a little bit in the garden, building the beds up. We're gonna go ahead and show you how we do it, especially for the potatoes. We brought 1 load of compost in, leaves, and then we also got some leaves and straw mixture. It's old, so we've got that out there, and a little bit of wood chips. So let's get started. So this is what we did. We torched all this. There's green, don't worry about it. It will go away. So these beds here have compost and leaves. I can do the rows. So why are you using the kid's hoe?
Here, let's take a look at how things are doing. It's a little sunny, so you may get some weird shadows. This row here is zucchini and squash, so all our summer squash, these 3 rows. We've made a little hedgerow over here with some different perennial pollinators, and then the back row has 5 different varieties of cantaloupe and melon that will trellis up this back fence and will tie off the fruit. And our front row is 3 different types of watermelons that we will let just trail out the front of the garden bed. Got some weeds growing over here that will have to get cleaned up in the pathway. Here we have our Italian striped zucchinis, 3 of them, which we are now realizing are going to be very large. So hopefully that does not become a problem. They're at least on the outer edge, and there's a pretty wide path here between this and the hedgerow, so if they do get big, it shouldn't be too big of a problem. Just might crowd our watermelons a little. And then these here are the gray zucchini. And this whole bed here should be Black Beauty zucchini plants. With the exception in these two beds, the very last two plants are just the straight neck squash. Because we did run out of zucchini plants when we were planting originally, and we had extra of the straight necks, so we figured, you know, why not? Why not? We never really were big on the yellow zucchini or yellow summer squash, but last summer we found that they are really good baked in the oven with some olive oil, salt and pepper, and Parmesan cheese on top. And we really liked them that way, so we decided it was good to grow them again this year. Okay, then over here, this row of tomatoes here are our German tomatoes, which are an indeterminate variety. So we have not grown these here yet, or before. So we'll see if we like them. It's kind of a test for us. Next we have different variety. Aaron would have to tell you what these tomatoes are. But these are all bush through here. We have mixed our rows up with some pepper plants between them. Again, Aaron would have to tell you which pepper plants they are. And then we're going back to tomatoes. We're kind of doing a mashup here. Struggling with our pepper plants right now between the bugs. So we'll see if we can take care of that. These are our green bean rows. Went through and transplanted. Alright, here are our green bean plants. We've got 4 rows of these. Went through, these got hit hard during that really late freeze that I'm sure most of the people over here on the East Coast got. So I had to go through yesterday and picked apart some and transplanted and was able to fill the beds up. We were using some old seeds, so we had done several seeds per hole, and then had a great germination. So fortunately we got lucky that we were able to do that. Some of them look like they transplanted great, but you can definitely see where the leaves are a little strained from the transplant. Some look like maybe they didn't do so well. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with them, if they make it or not. I usually think it takes a few days for them to start looking healthy again after you transplant. Here in this bed we have cabbage. Put it on here so we can see. We've got the first half is cabbage and then broccoli in the back. So these are starting to take off a little bit. We are still unsure if we're actually going to produce any heads of cabbage before it gets too hot. But they're definitely starting to attempt to make a head. And then our broccoli was not doing real well until last night. I realized success. We actually have a broccoli floret there, and then here a very small one going down in there. So that is super exciting. Our next bed here is onions. We did several different varieties of onions. This is really our first time growing onions, period, and we did these from seed. And then our germination was kind of all over the place. So I ended up pulling them up, thinning them out, and then transplanting them back in so that they would be spaced properly to form decent sized heads to them, decent sized root balls. So we'll see what happens with them. It's kind of an experiment. Hopefully we will be ready come fall. We will do a lot more. Our lettuce growing, we decided to do all head lettuce back here. So different romaine varieties back here. We did plant some cauliflower here. It's not really done a whole lot here for us either, so I'm not sure that we'll get much of anything out of that this time around. Carrots. Yeah, I'm about ready to come through and weed all this. Over here we have just your standard white potatoes, which I cannot even remember the names of some of these, and then back in this back bed we have some more white potatoes going. Once we hit the middle here, they split, and the front is our red potatoes, and the back part then becomes our Yukon Gold potatoes. But our potatoes are doing great, so we're very excited to see. They've gotten knocked down twice now by the two different freezes that we had since we put these in. Both times the plants just popped right back up and just with new growth, so we don't think it affected them, but I guess we'll find out when we harvest. Back on this back row, we just came through and planted different varieties of winter squash, which we'll go through later and talk about, I guess, which ones are which. They might not do great back here because there is a lot of shade that hits back here, but at different points in the day they do get decent amounts of sun, so we'll see. Our hope was to trellis them up our back fence line to the woods, and we'll get what we get off of them. If they get eaten on the other side of the fence, then that's okay. These were really just extras. Our main winter squash bed we did over at Aaron's parents' land, so we figure we get what we get, and if we have too much, we have free chicken food to feed our chickens. So that's pretty much what we have going on back here in the garden right now. And I'm gonna get back to cleaning up the yard and pruning these tomato plants.